Dear learners, welcome to a session on Cultural Studies. This course is offered in the first semester of your MA English program as a discipline-specific elective course titled M21EG05DE Cultural Studies. So in this session, we are having a discourse or a discussion on unit number 1 from the Block 3, Media Theory, and the unit number 1 is titled Media Theory and Analysis. So within half an hour, we will have a glance of what are the important discussions, what are the important ideas and concepts that this unit provides us regarding the theorization of media studies. So this unit is very important in terms of its discussion, its introduction, and its explanation of various theories, various concepts, notions, all the theories related to the media and its interconnected disciplines. So let's begin the unit. The first unit is titled Media Theory and Analysis. As an introduction, let's have a glance over what is happening around us when we are connected to the various types of media. So the media permeates every aspect of our life. Look at the scenario of our day-to-day life. The media, several types of media are being converged into our single screen of your smartphones or your iPhones or your computer screens, and we are unable nowadays to be separated or to be parted for a single moment from the digital world, especially the connected world of media. See what are the types of media that we have been engaged with on, if I'm not exaggerating, 24/7 times of our daily life. How many types of media are being engaged with through our digital devices? We have been engaged through audio medias, visual medias, auditory medias, and textual medias, and the converged medias of all types of these categories. So from the early morning to the late night moments of our life, from the watching of news to the streaming of our favorite television series or web series, we have been engaged in the media world throughout our day-to-day life. Now coming to the conceptualization part of this phenomena known as media, we have been given the name of a great theoretician in your unit named as Marshall McLuhan. McLuhan coined the term medium is the message from his phenomenal text, from his phenomenal 1964 published text, Understanding Media, the Extension of Man. So his idea through his term, medium is message, is described in this unit as the first important parts of your study material. So McLuhan's first most concept is medium is message. With this, he meant the significant thing about the media, that media is not merely a message they carry. So we don't have, the media is not how does it look like, and the media is as much as innocent that we see. However, the media itself carries, and it affects the human consciousness and society as a whole. To illustrate the idea that the medium is the message, McLuhan brings in his text an example of a light bulb. So defining media broadly, McLuhan argues that a light bulb, for example, is a form of media. But it is importantly one without any important content. For example, a light bulb does not transmit a message, but it lightens the world around it. Right? Yes. So it enables, it encourages, and it makes absolute various forms of human interaction make possible. For example, a light bulb is a form of, it's a contentless media, but it creates new environment, new situation for the human being without saying anything. It gives the light, it gives its radiance for human being to be able to see to each other, to communicate each other, and to create a new context for themselves. So through this message, through this example of a light bulb, McLuhan brings the very concept of his term, the medium is message. We may be discussing about the various influences that, for example, the media is affecting in our day-to-day life, its political power and its influential ability to convert the very essence of human life. All of them we may be discussing in our day-to-day life. But according to McLuhan, what is more important is something else. According to McLuhan, he says that media informs, media conveys us the idea that how far, how speed, or how adaptive is human life. From being used to the medias like the older versions of media like radio, television, into the new versions of media like the online social media networks and some other digital tools. So how fast is human communication is moving, which is also reflected in his day-to-day life scenario. That is what McLuhan tries to envisage through his idea of medium is message. So the psychological effect, the experience of human being in their living, day-to-day living, of receiving the mass information and the increased speed of the lives of human beings thanks to the advent of greater various types of medias. So all these are being described, all these are being discussed in the phenomenal text Understanding Media, written by McLuhan in 1964. So McLuhan predicted a great boom of online media as well as a great boom of internet in the coming years, in the upcoming years, which we have been witnessing nowadays. Also, McLuhan in his text brings the idea of global village. So according to McLuhan, the more the media have been evolved, the more the media have been becoming more advanced, the world becomes more like a small village. Say the case of our present scenario, a person who is having a cup of coffee from an Indian cafe could have a live chat with his family member or with his spouse or with his friends who is sitting in another cafe in the busy streets of Istanbul in Turkey. So, diminishing the distance, diminishing the proximity, diminishing the time variation among the distant lands, say in the case of India and Turkey. So, people have been given a feeling that they are living in a small village, though they have been physically living in a far distant from each other. Representation in media is another important area of discussion in the units number 1 of this block, which means how media represent the entire physical or real world that from which they are taking out the elements, the stories, the news, and other all relevant information. So, representation in media refers to how media texts portray and present various aspects of society, such as gender, age, ethnicity, national and regional identities, social issues, and events to the audience. So, how are the conceptualization about all these areas have been envisaged are highly influenced by the representation in media. So, there is a part in your text which describes the key terms in representation of media. So, what are the key terms in representation of media? The first one is construction. How the media text is put together, how the media visuals are put together to create a news value item or an entertainment item. So, the films or the television programs, the team behind these films, the team behind these movies practice real-time editing processes, camera angles positionings, and they also practice many varieties of visual effects to give a result of their products, to give the intended result of their products. For example, a movie or a news value item or any other relevant informative item. The second term is mediation. This is a process by which information or events are filtered and presented before reaching the audience. So, which elements have to be taken into the final version, which matters have to be excluded, which matters have to be removed, which have to be edited, all have been designed, all have been perpetuated, all have been formulated by a crew, by a well-formed team of a media. The another important term related to the media theory or media representation is selection. It refers to the choice made about what to include, what to exclude, which is an extension of what I said about mediation. The next one is anchorage. Anchorage means a simplified and often exaggerated representation of individuals, groups, places based on basic or obvious characteristics. I'll come to the term stereotypes after this in detail. Another important term related to the media representation is ideology. These are the ideas, beliefs, concepts, value systems, cultural values that are being created and being telecasted or being released by media producers, which are often reflected in their media text. So, a media text, a media body is a result of the ideas, the concepts, the values, the political and ideological beliefs, as well as their orientations that this media community, as well as their owners, their proprietors behold. That is why I said in the beginning of this unit, you cannot watch a media product or a media visual or a media text as innocent as it seems. Now, coming to the concepts, stereotypes. The theorist Raymond Williams says about these concepts that stereotypes show the world from our perspectives and values, which means the people who have the power, the people who have the voice, whom we term as the elites or the upper layer or the superficial layer of the community, of the society, of the world, they have the power, they have the influence to decide the opinion, the concepts, the values, as well as the imagination of the entire world that they wish to make, that they wish to create. So they promote the values and the perceived realities of stereotypes, promotes and values the perceived realities of powerful groups in the society. Another theoretician, Dyer, notes that stereotypes proclaim this is what everyone thinks about a group. Say the case of, for example, India, or take the case of Kerala. So the people in Kerala or the citizen in India are this type of people. They have this type of characteristics. They have these types of culture, behaviors, approaches. Their knowledge level is this much, or their physical power strength is that much. So when a powerful community or a powerful group creates a kind of conceptualization about a specific community, for example, it becomes a stereotype, it becomes an information for the other people. We cannot say that every people in Kerala have been following one characteristics or one type of behavior or one type of cultural values. There are many types of people from Kerala who follows diverse types of cultural values and living styles. So you cannot affirm a specific value or a specific characteristic or a feature or a cultural lifestyle to a particular group forever. What happens here is whatever information that you pass becomes a clear-cut and a rigid form, and there is no chance to make it be changed, and there becomes a kind of removal of blurring, removal of fading, removal of mixing of so many types of elements, so many types of values, so many types of cultural systems that is evident, that is existing in a same community. I will take the example of the stereotyping of the skin color stereotypes that is existing among the Indian communities. So most of the visuals in media, most of the advertisement in media, it promotes that the people who are fair-skinned are become more adventurous, are more powerful, are more valuable than those who are dark-skinned. The people who have fair skin are powerful. The people who have beautiful skins, they looks beautiful, especially by the usage or by using the cosmetics that being branded in advertisements. They have much value in society, in community than those who have not these opportunities, not these facilities. So such kinds of stereotyping exists everywhere, and it particularly exists in our land, homeland India, in various fields. So this is the discussion parts that this unit deals with in the area of representation in media, as well as along with that, it discusses about the concept that how representations are constructed. For a video, there are various forms to construct a representation, an output or any visual to its viewers, to its audience. It can construct its representation through camera shots and angles. Where do you put your camera? How do you design your angles? How do you form your angles to record a particular scene? It influences its impact in interpretation of the audience of the final products of that video. Editing is another form of construction of media. Media producers can manipulate the audience emotions by representing certain characters and situations. For example, take the case of reality show, Indian TV reality show, Big Boss. So, a group of people have been filmed, they are being recorded in a particular area or a particular house, all 24/7 time, but there have been all these moment of recording, all these moment of videotapes are being edited. They have been critically scrutinized and being edited and be recorded and then revealed or being telecasted to the audience. It gives them a stereotypes that it gives them a representation, a particular representation for particular characters in that TV reality show. Right, yes. So another form of construction, another variation of construction, media construction is audio code. The media producers employ different types of coding in their video creation, in their media creations, in their textual creations. For example, they put some typical slangs in creating the dialogue from some particular characters or particular accents. So all these give a message informally that this character represents this area or that character's accent is similar to the people or to the community in the other land of the country. So such is a creation of coding, such is a creation of editing, and such is a creation of camera shots and camera angles while you create a media product for the audience. As well as the music influences the construction, the visual code. So there are many types of constructive elements to create a media, which has been explored in your unit. And when you come to the textual media, it means the print media. For example, in the case of a newspaper, how the media constructs the news in the newspapers. Through their layout and design, it influences the reader's interpretation. The language and the mode of address. What is the language being used in that particular news or in that particular feature? The camera shots and angles, codes, anchorage. So everything influences the creation of or the representation of media for the audience.